Just let me follow up on Senator Van Hollen. Last March, the President said in the Oval Office, I've decided that the SBA, the Small Business Administration, headed by Kelly Loeffler, a terrific person, will handle all of the student loan portfolio. We have a portfolio that's very large. That's a quote from the President. He is reconsidering this decision now?
Senator, what we're focused on is supporting the White House's decisions and ensuring that we're able to take on whatever the President would ask us to do, and we would be working with the Department of Education and with Treasury should such a transition be made. And it's our agency operates a $444 billion loan portfolio that performs very well. It's a public-private partnership through lenders, much like the Department of Education's program is with outsourced servicing and so forth. But we will be working with the White House on next steps.
Well, this portfolio is $1.6 trillion, and it has 43 million borrowers. And it'd be very difficult, I think, for any agency to assume that, particularly as we progress into the year and we don't have any direction. And also, if you're cutting your workforce by 43%, where will you get the people to run this very complicated loan program? And I must reemphasize what Senator Van Hollen said. You need congressional authorization to make this transfer. And so if you don't propose it, then it can't be done. And I hope you can communicate that back to the White House. Just let me go one final point here on veterans. You're cutting veterans programs, and it seems to me inappropriate. You're cutting the Veterans Outreach Programs, which include Veterans Business Outreach Centers, the Boots to Business Program, and the Service Disabled Veteran Entrepreneurship Training Program. I think we should be doing more for veterans, not less. So why are you cutting aid to veterans?
Ranking Member, I'm glad you asked. There is no stronger champion of veterans than President Trump, and that's why he plussed up the Veterans Administration budget by $5 billion. And as the daughter and granddaughter of veterans, my father actually started a business based on what he learned in the military for trucking. And I'm proud of the work we're doing at SBA to actually grow our veterans outreach. What we had seen was our veterans work had been crowded out by the DEI initiatives. We've rectified that. We're getting the small business contracting targets for veterans met again by reducing arbitrary DEI limits that the Biden administration had put in. This week alone, we're conducting 15 veterans outreach efforts for Boots to Business and Reboot to serve our veterans in their local communities. And I'm excited to partner with Secretary Collins at the VA for an MOU we have to streamline the Vet Cert and Vet Biz on-ramp into the small business ecosystem, and then also working with the Department of Defense Transition Assistance Program as veterans come into that transition phase and looking at starting a small business. So veterans are going to find that we are not cutting the VBOX. We are simply ensuring that they're working with our small business development centers, of which there are 1,000 across the country, along with our PCRs, which are our procurement center representatives, putting them on base at military installations to better support that small business ecosystem. So I'm really optimistic that we are going to make small business more accessible to more veterans than has ever been true before.
Well, I don't think the numbers are quite as supportive. You are planning to integrate these veterans programs into the SBDCs and providing a $10 million increase this year. Last year, or the last in FY24, the level of congressional funding was $18.5 million. So what you're proposing is a 46% decrease in funding directed to veterans. And the numbers, I don't think, lie.
Ranking Member, if you will, that's a floor, that's a $10 million floor minimally that we are putting into VBOX, but also note that we talked about our district outreach at 68 district offices in addition to 1,000 SBDCs. So we have quite a network, and those are already delivering those boots to business and reboot efforts and the outreach on base. So we are going to supercharge the resources that we have and make them front and center for veterans, as opposed to what happened in the last administration, where everything was brought back to Washington and the veterans outreach was basically non-existent. There's no stronger champion of veterans than President Trump and myself, and we are going to make sure that we make a difference working alongside Secretary Collins and the Department of Defense.
Well, thank you, Madam Administrator. Appreciate your testimony. Thank you, Sarah.